This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
Views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL, but I'll tell you a little secret. You're invited to like and share them on social media, such as Facebook and YouTube. It's time for Careology, the science of caring. And Roxy's out of town this evening, so tonight's show is hosted by Bishop Alan Rivers.
We're going to have a wonderful show tonight. We have a special guest with us, and along with one of our themes that we use here, building bridges, not walls. So he is a proponent of building bridges. He actually stands in a place of strategic place in our community because he deals with the young people and deals with programs that benefit the whole community, not just a small segment, but a whole community. And it starts at an early age, so young people grow up knowing that they have worth in their life. This is my friend and my brother. Although we just met each other, we seem like we clicked from the beginning. And then when we look back to see that we're both from the same wonderful place known as Brooklyn, New York.
Exactly.
So if it sounds like we have an accent, you know what? We really do. This is my friend, brother, WillArmstead.
Yes.
And Will, just briefly, just give us some information about who you are.
Yeah. Hey, Bishop. I'm happy, first of all, to be on this show. I always enjoy talking about what I get to do every day, and because it's such a privilege. But like you just mentioned, I'm WillArmstead, and I'm the CEO of Boys and Girls Clubs. We're both Brooklynites,
That's
and I'm happy to be on this show because it's all about caring.
Amen.
And so I'm sure that throughout this show, that's what we're going to spend a lot of the time is talking about kids and caring, and we might even throw a couple of ad-libs of why I care so much.
Amen, amen. You see, I love this. You know, Brooklyn, people from Brooklyn are known, and I don't want y'all to get mad at me, okay? We're not just bragging, we're just saying. You know, people from Brooklyn are known to be able to really speak their mind and speak at the drop of a hat. We don't get nervous on the outside. We might be nervous on the inside, but not on the outside.
That's so true.
We don't know our heart. Miss Roxy Brown is not with us, as you were told, our host, or normal host for Careology, and I'm a guest host from time to time. But we still will try to demonstrate our mission's statement, which is our mission is simple: to provide access to proper hygiene to all for the wellness of our community. Number two, Careology, this is a subsidiary of Carebag, is a weekly radio show that promotes the science of caring, sharing knowledge and education with the community on resources available for them. And when we look at health, that's one of the primary things that we need as a community. And we'll talk about that a little bit later as we move on into the show. Brother Will, can you, let me just say this. When I was growing up in Brooklyn, New York, one of the safest places that you could be at was a place called Boys Club. Okay, that's what it was called back in the day. And that organization, I thought, was a local organization at the time, but it's actually a national organization that had very high standards when I was growing up then. And those high standards still exist. Am I right about that?
Yeah, Bishop. When you think about it, Boys and Girls Clubs across the country and in other countries, the standards are so high because we want to make sure that kids are in a safe environment where they can learn and grow. And even when you were in Brooklyn at the Boys Club, as it was back in the day, those standards were high. we wanted to make sure that we had the right people that were going to be able to help these kids learn and grow in this safe environment. And so today, it's the same exact way, just a little bit. I'm not taking anything back from what it used to be back in the day, but today it's even higher.
Okay. So, in other words, well, in addition to what you said, parents can feel a commitment from those that are in charge and those that work through Boys and Girls Club of America. When they send their children there, they can really feel pretty much at ease that the highest integrity is placed in the job of the people that are working in your organization.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great way to put it. I mean, when you look at the Federation as a whole, we all are autonomous in our own communities, but there are some very specific rules that we have to follow in order to be a Boys and Girls Clubs. Like, number one, we need to be level 2 background check. So we make sure from a safety standpoint that we have people who are going to, or we're going to attempt to make sure that people are going to do the right thing by the kids. We make sure that that people are drug tested and that sort of thing.
Sometimes when I'm, driving home or driving on the highway, or whatever, I see maybe a kid walking down the street by themselves. They're like alone, okay? And it really bothers me when I see that happening. But if a child needs a place to go, how would they get to your place from school? If they're let out of school before their parents are home or get home, and rather than going to their house, is there a mechanism that's set up so they can get to your place? And the reason why I ask that, because even as we spoke about the safety of children, that was like a whole different world for me when I walked through the doors of the Boys and Girls Club of America. What are you guys doing on that level for them to be able to actually get to the facility?
So in St. Lucie County specifically, we have a great relationship with St. Lucie Public Schools. Mm-hmm. So we are actually located in 15 of those schools, okay, elementary and K through 8 schools, and we have another 8 neighborhood clubs. And the St. Lucie Public Schools drops those kids off to each one of those facilities.
Excellent. I said that under my breath, but I got to bring it out of my breath because that is excellent, because it really was the next question that I wanted to ask you about the locations that you have. But you answered that almost immediately. So it's not just a one location. There are multiple locations, and they're like satellite locations that offer some of the services that Boys and Girls Club of America provides for our community. Can you tell me about it? Like, maybe like in a small satellite location, what can be expected in a location that's like that?
Yeah, so when you think about how we are situated in communities so that kids can actually walk to the Boys and Girls Clubs. So the majority of the clubs in our city, in Port St. Lucie and in Fort Pierce, kids can actually walk from their neighborhood, and that's why it's called a neighborhood club. Mm-hmm. And then there are some that they have to be bused to just because of the streets and that sort of thing. But for the most part, kids could get there during the summer. They can get there throughout the school. It just so happened that right after school, the buses drop them off to their specific location. Okay. But during the summer, a lot of those kids are able to walk directly to our club, obviously with their parents.
Excellent. So, and you said for the summer. Now, the thing I'd like to know is the time frame that you usually have the program running, okay, from what time to what time, and then on the summer season, does that time change? Is it a longer day, or is there any change?
Yeah, it's a great question. So during the school year, at our school-based sites, we have a morning program and an afternoon program. So those parents that got to get to work, let's say by 8 o'clock, we open our doors at 7:30 during the school year, and then after school, the schools run a little different in terms of the hours.
Okay.
But we're open at those school sites until 6 o'clock every night. Now, in the neighborhood club is a little different. We're not open in the morning. However, we're closed at 7 o'clock at night throughout the school year. During the summer, it's from 7:30 to 6 o'clock.
Wow, that's amazing. I know you have summer programs, and I know that the early bird gets the worm, as they say. How many of those spots, or do you still have spots that's available? If someone's listening to this program tonight, and they said, "Wow, man, this sounds really great, and this might work for me and my children," how can they get more information about how would they register their child? Is it time for them to register their child? Is there just a specific locations that they can register their child? And tell me something about that.
Yeah, so they can go to our website at www.bgcofslc.org. They can call us at 772-460-9918, or they can go to Children's Services website, and they can see all of our locations are there. But there are other after-school programs or summer programs on that website as well.
Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to revisit those contact areas again. He's going to repeat them again, because if you guys are like me, I never have a pen in my hand, and if I have a pen, I can't find the paper. But so you can get yourself ready now, get your pen and your paper, because Brother Will repeat those and give you that information so that you can make sure that you get in contact with the Boys and Girls Club of America. It really has a really nice ring to it when I say that, Boys and Girls Club of America. Hallelujah. And that's the bishop in me. Hallelujah.
Yeah. Well, locally, we are Boys and Girls Clubs of St. Lucie County.
Okay.
And as I said, we are all autonomous.
Mm-hmm.
But that number again is 772-460-9918. They can reach us on our website, www.bgcofslc.org. And then if they want to go to Children's Services Council, which is one of the agencies that really fund a lot of our neighborhood clubs, they can go to their website. That's Children's Services Council website. And, when I don't know where you at in the programs, because there's a lot of programs we run at the Boys and Girls Club.
Okay.
And there's some that just excite me.
Okay.
I get prepared. So I'm gonna let you be in charge of this.
No, it's no specific, because there's so many.
Yes.
And if I don't have a need for them, or know somebody with a need for them, that doesn't mean that someone's not out there that has a need. When I was back in the day, when I was going to Boys and Girls Club of America, they had the basketball, they had the baseball, they had the pool, not the one that you can go into, and the pool there was a table, the pool table. So they had a lot of things for various interests. So that's open, and that was just a great thing for those young people that had an opportunity to participate. But if I remember correctly, before you even sign up, there's a list. They still have the list. There's a bunch of choices that you can make. And unlike when I was growing up, it's not restricted to boys or girls. It includes boys and girls, because I think you were one of the first organizations that actually embrace the equality of the sexes. Am I right about that?
You probably are.
Yeah, so like back in 1990 someplace, I read, no, they changed the name, but they felt a need to be public about that. There's no discrimination between young people in general or on any level, and I applaud you for still holding those same standards.
Yeah, you mentioned the majority of the sports, and we do that at our clubs. We do all those sports, and I tell you, one of the things that Boys and Girls Clubs have done a really good job, and like we have done here locally, is we've connected ourselves with the school system, and that allows us to work in tandem to what they're teaching the kids at the school, that we're able to do some of those same exact learnings at the clubs. And that includes having certified teachers. So during the school year, we have as many as 20 certified teachers at our locations. And this summer, we have about 15 to 16 of those teachers as well.
Okay. Now, are those teachers dedicated to academics, or are they teach in a different capacity?
Yeah, when we hire teachers, they're very specific to academics. We want to make sure that kids are on track for graduation.
Okay.
And we get funded by groups like Children's Services Council so that we're able to pay for those teachers. And we also get donations from a lot of people, businesses, and other folks to make sure that we have the funding to do it.
Well, you know what? A lot of times you don't see who it is that supports, okay? Or maybe they cannot go to a particular location themselves. However, you can always send your donation. And right now, we're going to take a pause for the cause.
If you could reimagine the way you buy a car, what would you do? Make it simple, make negotiations disappear, demand transparency, then experience amazing at your Treasure Coast Lexus dealer. Car buying simplified. Treasure Coast Lexus is a proud sponsor of Careology. Every Tuesday at 6:05 p.m., caring and supporting for our community. Car buying simplified. Check out your Treasure Coast Lexus dealer. Why call two men in a truck of the Treasure Coast? You want to move your business without moving a single meeting? You want it handled with no fuss. Lots of stuff, no time to move it? You need the pros that care. That's why you call two men in a truck of the Treasure Coast. Family owned and operated franchise. Call 772-236-0827. 772-236-0827. Movers who care. Visit Two Men in a Truck, TreasureCoast.com.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
Is turned away. Call now.
And now back to Careology with the Bishop.
Okay, we're back. Thank goodness for that. And this session has been very inspirational in terms of seeing what's been done and what's still going on with this wonderful organization known as Boys and Girls Club of America. And I'm going to keep on saying that because I think you deserve that to be ringing in your ear, because you guys have done an excellent job over the years with causing us to grow. And what I want to ask you about is a program that you can have going. It would help the community if they hear about this. It's called the Workforce Readiness Program. Can you speak to that for a few minutes?
Yeah,
please?
that's great. You know, we have, when we look at our teenagers, our young teenagers, our middle schoolers and our high schoolers, you know, we want to make sure they're on track. So when they get older, that they're able to be in the workforce. So we don't want to wait. We don't want to wait until they get 18 years old, right? They've been with us for many years, and our overall mission is to enable all young people, though, especially those who need us most, to reach their full potential. And as part of that, we are committed to make sure that our young people are ready for the workforce. And so one of the things that we're working on this summer is getting kids working. And so we got a couple different programs happening. One is the Into the Future program, which is working with the more middle school and the 9th graders, 10th graders, to just give them some proper etiquette, whether if it's dressing for success, whether it's doing some light work at our different clubs, whether if it's working with me, just kind of seeing that even with the Boys and Girls Clubs of St. Lucie County, that it's not just working with kids, that there's a whole back office of finance and HR and some other things that happen that run an actual organization. That program that I'm speaking about, Into the Future, is going to go for 8 weeks. So these young people are going to have the opportunity not to just be in a setting where they could learn, but they get to earn money, and they're going to earn money every week in a stipend way, so they could learn some work skill.
Just let me stop you right there, Brother Will. This is for all the parents. Did you hear what he said? They can earn money. They can earn their own money. And maybe they can start spending your money. So if this is important for you, this is going to bless you real good. So take down the information. Remember the name of the program. This is going to be good for your children as well as for yourself. Go ahead.
If we add to that, we've been working with the city of Fort Pierce. We've been working with the city of Port St. Lucie, the county, Career Source, Research Coast, to help us develop programs so kids could work. Last year, 156 of our kids were able to get a job. This year, with all those agencies working together and with our donors, to include Bank of America, who just gave us a nice grant, we're going to get close to 300 kids that are going to either earn a paycheck where they work hours, or they're going to earn a stipend so that they could learn some workforce skills.
Is this for just 8 weeks, or that's basically, okay, what is the age requirement, and what's the cutoff age for the children?
So for the into the future, we're working with the teenagers. We're working with the younger teenagers, 13 years old. Actually, we're saying 7th grade to 12th grade. But then some of those jobs, obviously, federal laws and that sort of thing, they have to be a certain age to work in those jobs. But good customer service can happen when a kid is young. We teach them how to have manners and that sort of thing. So we're working based on their age. And so when they leave our program, these kids would have earned money, but they also would have learned different skills.
Okay, so this is a benefit that can be life-lasting.
Yes.
All right, that's something that they're learning at the beginning of their life that they can apply through their life. Okay, and interesting that we're speaking about this. On what question I wrote down on here about on-site activities, and one of the questions I asked is, what are the life lessons that are achieved by what has been taught by the Boys and Girls Club of America? Okay, so this gives me a good insight that it's not stagnant. Okay, that we're going from just an area of just comfort and an area of just having fun and have activity to something that you can really sink your teeth into, and something that's tangible, something that's tangible. Can you guys hear me? I hope so. Only when I get up here, my voice is low like that. But at home, I promise you, I don't need a mic.
Well, Bishop, when you talk about just the variety of things that we do at Boys and Girls Clubs, one of the things is we want kids living a healthy lifestyle. And that's at all different levels when you talk about healthy lifestyle. And then we want to make sure that they're building good character and leadership. And as our kids grow, our teens grow, the better the community is going to be. And we work closely with lots of agencies to make sure that it's just not a Boys and Girls Clubs thing. It's a community thing. And we're going to partner. We partner with churches. We partner, like I said, the county and the cities and other large agencies and businesses. But our ultimate goal is to make sure that when a young man or woman leaves the Boys and Girls Clubs, that they are productive citizens, and that they're either going to go to college, go into the workforce, go into the military, but then they're going to do something that's going to benefit them and their community.
When you see me smiling and I'm shaking my head, because I'm saying, my note here, right sitting before me, it says, what I learned, okay, when I was a boy, if I'm from participating in Boys and Girls Club of America, was teamwork, one, good citizenship, responsibility, respect for others, leadership, okay? And these are all of these things that you're telling me we're still doing, okay? And you're getting support in doing them, okay? And you're still producing young people with character that can go into the world with character, Okay, one of the things that I benefited from Boys and Girls Club. Am I over talking you?
You're the bishop.
Oh, that's okay. I don't want to step on your
And
toe.
you're from Brooklyn. You're the bishop from Brooklyn.
Executive privilege.
But one of the things that I think I mentioned to you earlier it was as though we were stepping into a new world of hope. Okay, I didn't know how to put it into words when I was a child, but when I came through the doors of the Boys and Girls Club, it was like there was just an essence of hope. And when I hear you talking now, it looks like that still exists.
Yes.
It still exists.
It does, and it's, depending on who you ask about this whole word of hope. People sometimes will use the word hope only if you're in a certain neighborhood or a certain place.
Right.
But our kids, our teens, all need hope today. I mean, we're just coming out of a pandemic, and I've been saying to adults recently, if you're stressed out, how do you think your kids and your teens are feeling? And because they have to depend on us as adults. And so we make every effort to make sure that every teen, every kid is heard, and we try to figure out, what's going to be best for them and their families. We come alongside the family, we come alongside the kids so that we can provide that hope for them, for their futures.
Amen. 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 As I said, there was this feeling of stepping into something different or having a whole atmosphere change at some different points while I was at the Boys and Girls Club of America. And I sense from what you're doing and the way that you explain the way you're running right now that still exists, specifically from what you just said. Now, what is your connection? I know you have it with the community outside of the walls of the Boys and Girls Club of America. How do you impact your community just in general?
We don't work by ourselves on anything. I mean, obviously we have supporters and we have donors, and we have other agencies just like Boys and Girls Clubs that are strategically in neighborhoods where kids could walk to or can get to. So we work collectively with a lot of the after-school programs. Every Friday, Sean Boyle, who's the CSC, or Children's Services Council CEO, has a call with all of the after-school providers, and we talk about what are the needs in the community, what's happening with the social and emotional learning for our kids. And so collectively, we come up with lots of ideas of how we can benefit the kids in the communities, not just one specific community, but all communities throughout St. Lucie County.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
Bishop, I got a note from Roxy, who's listening in, and because I had to ask her, I was concerned that somebody in the chat room on Facebook said, put them on the camera. Well, they're not on the Careology Facebook right now. They're on Bishop Allen Rivers' Facebook, but we can take the finished product and still share it on the Careology webpage, so no problem with that. But just let the listeners know, they'll find the show that we're doing live on Facebook now on the Bishop's Facebook.
Okay. That was a little technical difficulty that we have, and we're known to have that from time to time. Sometimes life is a technical difficulty.
Yes.
But we get through that, and we'll get through that because I might not be where you expect me to be, but I'm somewhere. And we just found out where we can find out this great information outside of...
I wouldn't want anybody to think that the show wasn't going on Facebook right now.
No, it's going on.
It
is. As they said, Bishop Allen Rivers Facebook, you can see me. Thank
right
you.
Now.
Live.
And the archives will be there. And I guess, Roxy will be able to copy and paste the code to this video from the Careology or the Carebag website. So
Okay, all right.
we're good to go.
All right, thank you so much. I want to ask, because of the season right now, before we leave the air, I have to ask this question. about this season of COVID-19, okay, as the workplace issue. Has there been an issue with that, and how is the safe work environment maintained for you guys that are working there as employees?
When we talk about our community, St. Lucie County and both the cities, they did a really good job at supporting us and making sure that we had the right equipment that we needed in order to go through this pandemic. And so whether if it's the PPE equipment, we were able to sustain ourselves, and we had all the protocols in play. We still do. There are still some protocols that are in play. As you know, CDC lightened it up, and so did St. Lucie County. But throughout this pandemic, we made sure that we followed every one of those protocols. If an employee got sick, they went home for the proper amount of days. If a kid got sick, the same exact way. But I tell you, I feel like we were really blessed during that time, because throughout that time, we were able to open up 2 very large facilities.
Okay.
One being the Mid-Florida Event Center in Port St. Lucie, and then the other one being Westside Church, which we're still operating this summer in both those facilities.
Okay.
It added another, between the both, 80-something thousand square foot of space so that we could serve those kids that we normally would serve. So for us, we were able to keep the kids a 6-foot distance. We were able to make sure the kids stayed masked. Our employees are like top notch. Every one of our employees, I would say 99% of our employees stayed with us through this entire pandemic, and most of them are still with us today.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. But it lives up to your reputation as an organization, always providing a safe place.
Yes.
All right. So so that carries through as a part of your a mission statement. Now, and I want to ask you about that also. We spoke about a few things. I'm not finished with this. I'll come back to this if necessary. But what is the overall mission statement for your organization? We got 2 minutes. If you need more than that, we'll come back. But in 2 minutes, we're going to be taking a break. But just if you want to just tell us something about that.
So our mission is to enable all young people, especially those who need us most, to reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens. That's our mission. And we don't go around it. We don't go over top of it. We go straight through it with our team.
That's a Brooklyn guy talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight, no chaser.
Yeah.
He goes right to the matter. I said, we put the children as the first priority, and whatever we have to do to enhance their life and give them a good life, they're willing to do.
That's right.
And you have partners in doing this as well.
We do.
Yeah, indeed. I know you have a relationship with Carebag. I don't know what the mechanism is, but we're like you are. We have a heart to care for people.
That's right.
All right, so we're here to assist you in any way that we can, and and that's what we're here. If you want friends, you have to show yourself friendly. And let me see. Okay, while the covert situation was going on, did you have any type of education for the young people that were there, those that could understand what was taking place, and for needed to know that they need the information that they needed to know as people that as young people traveling throughout, excuse me, in their community and just living life at this juncture?
Yeah, I know we're going to go to a break, but before we go to that break, I will tell you that we work with Children's Services Council and other agencies to make sure that the social and emotional well-being of the child was on point, because that was important for our teens and our kids. But in terms of information about COVID-19 itself, we definitely kept them educated.
Okay.
Our Human Resources Department, our staff made sure whatever information we received from the county, we pass it along to the kids, we pass it along to the parents.
Okay. Now we're right at that place where we have to take a little break, a pause for the cause. Thank you so much. We will be back.
We good?
You're listening to Careology on WPSL, Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
How would you like to win a Lexus UX200 with taxes paid, no car payment? That sounds terrific. Go to givecarebag.com. All proceeds go to help our local nonprofit Carebag Incorporated, where they provide access to proper hygiene to those in our community in need. We also have 2 additional prizes. Go to givecarebag.com to find out how you could win a beautiful 2021 Lexus UX200. No lease, taxes paid. Drawing December 17th, 2021. Thinking of building your next home or renovating? Come see us at Grozer Builders. We will create a home suited for your lifestyle. With years of experience means we give you a complete professional service from a dream to a concept. You will get the best results, best value, best quality is what you get from Grozer Builders. Visit us at grozerbuilders.com. You deserve better. You deserve Grozer.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
And now back to Careology with Bishop Alan Rivers and his guest. We have guests too.
Amen. Okay, Brother Will, I want to ask you concerning the community involvement, your involvement with the community on a different level. We dealt with the small children and we've dealt with the teenagers. Is there any mechanism in your organization to just serve some of the seniors in our community? And if so, what are those?
I like that question because one of the things that in building good character and citizenship, we want the kids to volunteer and give back. Mm-hmm. And one of the first people I met when I took over as CEO was Roxy.
Okay.
And Carebag. And at that time, she was doing sandwiches. She was making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, right? And she was taking them out in the woods. And we had a lot of teenagers that wanted to be involved in it. They thought it was, sometimes we don't give teenagers enough credit for where their heart really is for their fellow man, woman. And what we found out that these teens wanted to go out and they wanted to serve in their community. And then we did some other cool things with Roxy in terms of giving out different things and working together collaboratively and doing some things. We did a thing last year where the parents, if they didn't have to pay for that week if they brought in some diapers. And we did that together. And what that did was, especially during the pandemic, it allowed for us to work together. And then I've seen some other organizations do the same thing. So, Carebag has just done some really amazing things over the years. And we have lots of community partners that do the same exact thing, just in a different setting. Overall, our teens benefit from it because they learn how to give back early.
Yeah, and they actually create a future for themselves because they're imprinting something. You allow them to imprint something on their mind that this will go on, for their lifetime. That you won't find them just sticking their parents or loved ones in any place. That they'll have the concern in their heart to be able to be concerned about people that help them along the way. It's just really good character building.
That's right.
So I really applaud you for that. Is there any type of direct interaction that they have with the seniors that you can tell us about?
Over the years, this last year and a little bit has been a little rough for everyone.
Right.
So we couldn't really get into some of the senior citizens places, some of the Alzheimer's community care type places, daycare type things.
Right.
But over the years, we've had opportunities to really, go into some of those places where the kids would make cards or they would do stuff for the veterans.
Okay.
So there are a lot of different things that our teens get to experience in terms of, working with seniors, working with our veterans, working with the elderly. So we always want to keep them like doing stuff, and that's at all of our sites. That's from our 6-year-olds all the way up to our 18-year-olds.
Have you ever had any of the young peoples you may have impacted over the years come back to revisit you and just like share with you what their experience have meant for them over the time that they were with you? Have you ever had anything like that?
So that happens often.
Tell me about
And
it.
so I could tell you, Dr. Leandria Jones,
Okay.
her dad and I are really good friends, Isaac Jones. She just graduated with her doctorate in pharmacy.
Okay.
And I wish that I could say for her that she was the only one,
Okay.
but we got lots of kids that are coming back from college and they're working in the school system or they're working in professional fields. Some of them, have come back and become parents and have gone into the military. So we work really hard to ensure that they have the opportunity. And we see a great percentage of them making good choices in their life. And so that's always a pleasure and a privilege. We see some of them, the alumni, come back and speak as Dr. Jones did at the recent graduation.
Excellent. Excellent. I love it. I love it. So that gives you some evidence that what is being done is worthwhile being done.
Yes.
All right. It's not just some frivolous effort on the part of your organization or people involved with them, that you guys are worthwhile and you have a tremendous positive impact on our community. And I just want to say, just from here, outside of everything else that was said, that I really appreciate the work that you're doing, because I know that sometimes people work hard not for the money, not for the fame, if there is any, and never receive what means the most, which is a really heartfelt thank you and a gratitude for the work that you're doing. Because you talked about something earlier. I can't remember what it was, but it had to do with the children, and I know that ain't easy. Okay, with the young children and trying to get them to be organized in a certain manner for their safety and because it's necessary for them to be able to just pay attention and follow instruction. And I know that's not hard. I got a lot of kids and grandchildren, and I got one child right now at my house, and I'm taking him back to his mother tomorrow. He got reservations.
That's the wonderful thing about having grandchildren. They get to go home.
That's it. Not too soon. And the guy is my best friend. He follows me around the house. Every place I go, he's walking behind me. I turn around, I almost trip over him. I was like, Dad, but I sit there and I don't have the energy anymore. But you guys still maintain the energy. You still maintain the enthusiasm for the work that you do. And we want to maintain our appreciation and our gratitude for people that work as you do, and specifically your organization. I really appreciate your being here. We're not over yet. No.
We got 10 minutes.
We got 10
Well,
minutes.
well, Bishop, there's no way I can compete sitting next to a bishop from Brooklyn. But what I will tell you is that I absolutely could not do it without my leadership team and the front line. I was just talking to a few of them today. I don't know if I could work in an environment with 20 kids. I don't know if that's what my calling is.
Right.
But to be able to work with 20 kids at one time, or 15 kids or 10 kids, 5 kids, that's a lot of work. And you have to have a passion to be able to do that work. And what I'll tell you is that we hire the best. We hire people who are committed and that are going to make a difference in a child's life.
Absolutely.
And, there's some people who say, 20% of the people do 80% of the work. I can tell you at Boys and Girls Clubs, 100% of the people do 100% of the work.
I love it.
The standard is that high.
I love
We don't take no for an answer.
All right.
And we want to make sure everyone is pulling their weight, and that's why we get to serve the kids and we get to provide them some of the opportunities that they're getting.
Excellent. So we still have the lines open. If there's anyone that needs to ask Brother Will a question, this is the time to do it. You can either call that in, or you can go on my Facebook account and just reach out in that manner as well.
That's right, and I'll monitor your chat room as the Facebook broadcast continues.
Okay. So, yeah, come on with it. We're ready to go. We're ready to work.
If you need to call in, we're live at 772-340-1590. Just call the station. We're here live right now.
Amen. You get some good answers. And, of course, you don't want to miss an opportunity to have a summer camp or summer program for your children, because if you don't appreciate it now, you will welcome it in July. All right, it's available for you, and it is at a nominal fee for those that want to participate, but it is available right now, and you can contact. I'll let Brother Will give the contact information again for all the parents that want to have a place for their children on summer vacation. Will?
Yeah, so I'm going to give you a couple of contacts. So you have 772-460-9918. That's the phone number. And then we have our website, www.bgcofslc.org. And then there's also the CSC website, Children's Services website, that you could go to. And that's important for me to let the viewers know, because we may not have an opening, but one of those other organizations, good organizations, solid organizations that have to be level 2 background as well, that have some space available where they're at.
Okay, so there's safety in places that they're affiliated with. All right, it's not the Boys and Girls Club, but any of those that are affiliated with them, that have to serve you or are willing to serve your children, you can have confidence that they have been scrutinized and they are of the highest standard. So, take the information. Please use the information. Don't just hold the information, because there's a spot there that's going to help you and your child if you take advantage of it. You can't complain about not having. We have not because we ask not. If you ask, it will be provided for you, and this is the opportunity for you to do that right now. Please call the number here at the station if you have a question, you have a statement, or if you want to say something on a chat line concerning tonight's broadcast. This is the time for you to do it right now. Just let your calls come in. Please support organizations that support the people that support you. All right, so whatever you need to do in order to support the Boys and Girls Club of America. You may not have a child, but you can make room for a child through some type of donation that you give towards the organization. The same thing applies to Careology or Carebag, and in particular, that you may not be able to go out in the woods. And he's not lying. When they took me out in the woods, brother, you think that it was a joke? People are homeless. They were living under tarps. They were living in tents, and people were not afraid to go out and meet people where their needs were at. So this is another way that you can do it. You don't have to go in the woods, but you can support each of these organizations.
What you're talking about in the woods, that would be a homeless camp set up somewhere, right?
Yeah, when I call it the woods, because everything where I come from was made out of concrete. When I see dirt.
Only in Florida.
I see dirt. I see canvas in the sky, a canopy in the sky, and people. I said, "What's that for?" That's where they live at. I said, "Come on, man. A homeless person in New York, they had a house, they had something, but this is like the really unexpected."
Roxy's pointed out that we have humane societies for pets, but we don't have nothing for homeless folks.
Oh my God, it's heartbreaking when you see that, and almost indescribable. We're wrapping it up right now, but not on the negative side of what people are going through. We want to talk about the positive side of what people are doing to alleviate certain problems in our society, in our communities, in our neighborhoods, and then in our own household. These things can take the pressure off in a bad situation where you don't have to have your child under your foot every moment. You can send him somewhere that he can be taken care of well, and some of the pressures can be relieved from you, and some of the anxieties you may have about what you're going through. That's one less thing that you have to worry about. You think about it, pray about it, and then do something about it. We're here to help you. We're here to serve you. We're here to be your friend. So with that being said, I'm going to let the final statement be made by my good friend now, concerning whatever your heart feels at this moment.
Well, one of the things that you mentioned was donations, but I think I like to see more than donations is people giving up their time, and that's important. And I think the other thing I like to see is more teenagers in after-school programs. At a certain juncture, we think as parents they're old enough to be home by themselves. And the teenager thinks they're old enough to be home by themselves too. But we want to make sure they're in a safe environment where they can be productive. And so I would urge any parent that is thinking about it to just give us a call and see if we're the right fit for their teenager to come in, maybe earn a few bucks, maybe learn some workforce readiness skills, maybe just be around other healthy teenagers that they can all make good decisions together. And so as we close, I want to just make sure that they understand that we really do care about the work we do. 100% of our staff are doing the work. And I'm very proud of them because we are serving so many kids this summer. We're almost at 1,200 kids throughout the county. And they're in a safe environment, and the staff is just doing a remarkable job with them.
Excellent. So, a lot of places you may go to and they have mentoring programs with a scheduled mentor and a mentee. Here, this is done in a more open, in a fuller capacity where 100% of the people that are working with you is a mentor in a sense.
Yes.
All right. He's teaching you life skills. He's available for you as long as you need them. They're available for you. So as you said, for the children, the young teenagers, this is going to help you. It's going to help you with your communication skills and your people skills. And as I say that, I'm wrapping up. Thank you, Roxy. I hope we did a good job here for you. We're praying for you, and we're going to be closing shortly. And we thank you, Will. I hope this is not the last time. Doesn't have to be this environment.
Yes.
We can just bump fit somewhere.
There you go. Thanks for having me.
You're quite welcome. You're quite welcome, and I'm sure this won't be the last time. We'll see you in the work field.
Yes.
We'll see you in the neighborhood. We'll see you. What you do best is serving people. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. People of the world, thank you for listening.
Thank you.
All right, God bless.
And don't forget to visit the website. That would be carebag.org to find out what's going on and find out about those mobile showers. Awesome. This, by the way, just so happens to be WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast, talking about Careology tonight. And the time right now is 7 o'clock.